stop.
Yeah, people are trying to message you on YouTube, and well, you wouldn't see the chat here, but
oh, that stresses me out. Hold on, I'll go back. Is it put? Can you find me? There we go. Right. Oh, there we are. Oh. I can hear myself. That's not good. All right. This is probably a totally different one, or is this different? Okay. Hey, y'all. Sorry about that. Apparently, I had no sound for a little bit there. Not sure what happened because everything's working good. But I am going to go start back off where I left off. As soon as it lets me back on here, I don't see anything. It says that I should be live. There we go. All right. Anyway, my apologies, y'all, for the top 20 predictions not coming out correctly. I don't know what happened to my sound piece, but apparently it shut off. And my friends on Zoom told me that I ended off on number 13. So we'll do the last top 13. And if you're tuning into this now, my apologies again that it got cut off in the first half of my top 20 November predictions. And if you don't know me, again, I'm Spiritman J.T. here to bring you love, light, truth, predictions, and prophecy. Be sure to subscribe down below, click the bell, click the all. Today is Tuesday, the 16th of November, 2021. And this is the second part of my predictions for November. And again, I don't know what happened to my sound and didn't realize it went out until somebody told me afterwards. So let me go back and start. And I got to bring my notes back up again. My apologies. Damn. Well, that stinks that happened. Number 13. Hold on. All right. So, okay, this is an important. Oh, interesting that my sound went off when I talked about this. Number 13 is, it's an odd one, but it seems that Spirit keeps showing me tubes of Colgate toothpaste. Not saying that it has anything to do with that brand, but I see some type of scare and recall revolved around mislabeled fake toothpaste brands. This could be two separate cases. First, I see a recall, but it also looks like counterfeit passed off as a brand name. So again, counterfeit toothpaste passed off as a brand name. I see possible 3 deaths related to this, and heavy metals and toxic chemicals that is found in the toothpaste, in the fake toothpaste brands. This is sent in by China, from China, of course, and it is done intentionally. So be very careful where you buy your toothpaste, and be aware of like extra cheap brand name toothpaste, like in a dollar store. That would be the place that you would have to be most aware of it. Not sure the brand name. They showed me Colgate, but it doesn't necessarily have to do with that. Being as the sound got cut off, I do remember I got more information about that, and they were showing me children's toothpaste as well. Let me move on to number 12. Number 12, a storm is coming, something out of a movie. This storm is so huge, it covers areas larger than a hurricane. It comes across the land, first bringing record snowfalls, moving into bringing thick ice storms and power outages before ending with torrential rains and record floods. So this is like going across the country, like going across. That's why like some areas it's starting up high. That's the snow. It's going down low until it goes into the warmer weather. I believe this storm comes across Canada and United States from the Pacific. So it feels to me like maybe during the holiday season, affecting the holiday travels. I did make earlier predictions, as many of you know, and statements about the darkness attempting to spoil our holiday season and not celebrate Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. So I told you all about that in the long, dark winter it was coming. But this is, to me, seemed like more of a warning. So y'all, you know, I tell you, stay closer to home during the holidays, avoid travel during the holidays. This is all the more reason to do so, literally, because of this storm. I would expect this storm to be created by a weather modification system if it does end up hitting during the holidays, especially because, you know, if you're not familiar with that, look up HAARP, HAARP, or HAARP or whatever. Look up weather modification. Government, you know, admitted that they did it a long time ago. Taking me to number 11. On the same level, related sort of to that prediction. And something I said in the past couple months. Plan holiday travel well. And again, better yet, just stay home. Holiday travel will strand thousands during the holiday season, while several airlines or airports or both will receive scares that will also keep people from traveling as well. I see a large event happening outside, more likely inside, but the vision I had was outside a large airport. My visions is that of many flashing lights, police, fire, and even military surrounding the front of an airport. I would expect this to be a well-traveled airport likely like one within the United States, Canada, or Europe, or like New York City or something. It was big, huge. Do I have number 11 twice? I do. Spirit shows me a similar event occurring overseas, places like Germany. Germany is going to have its hands full this coming winter season on so many levels. And I talked about this before my sound went out, unfortunately. But let me go back on YouTube, make sure everything's good, and keep an eye that I have sound. There's no chat room. There's no chat room on this? Oh, well. Anyway, moving right along. Thanks, YouTube. It was all when I started talking about toothpaste that they cut me off. So Germany, I saw Germany having its hands full, and it literally feels to me almost like Germany, Nazi Germany, but it's the Germans that are being held captive. So it's not just in the way of some kind of event with travel and airports, going back to the previous prediction, because these are related in that aspect, but also with weather events and political events and a lot of strain. I felt a lot of strain on the people of Germany. Number 10, United States is treading on thin ice with Russia. And that is literally all Spirit showed me. I didn't even show me. I heard that actually. Spirit say United States is treading on thin ice with Russia. And these visions are coming back to me, thank goodness, because this isn't in my notes. This is coming to me now. It did earlier when my recording was cut out. But I see a vision of a lot of out at sea, ships at sea, submarines. And I see what looks like almost like war games. And that's how Spirit said it to me about 10 minutes ago, that it's like war games with Russia and United States. So they're like not really firing directly at, but they're throwing warning shots. I would take it as warning shots, I guess. And it looks like on a coastal area. I'm not sure what coast or where, but it felt more like on the opposite side of the globe. So I would think maybe the border of Russia, possibly. Not sure. Number 8. Oh, no, wait. I jumped all the way down. Number 9, I'm sorry. This one was disturbing. And this goes back to my visions that I had way back in 2016. I had visions in 2016 that many of you that follow me all the time would remember me talking and discussing about the visions of the underground tunnels. I was the first one to talk about this, first psychic to talk about predictions of these underground, mass places where they hold kids, and just it's sick. And came up with organ harvesting. Well, my number 9 prediction is underground organ harvesting, and that's all I have on my notes. This came to me, I think, last night before bed, and Spirit didn't give me any more clarity on that other than that. And make sure we have the right camera on here. Okay, just checking my sound. So what I was getting is, and this came to me 10 minutes ago when my sound was cut off. So thank you for showing me this again, Spirit. I'm seeing literally a ring of people holding hands, and that ring being broken into pieces. So they're showing me a criminal ring of organ harvesting that is being broken, underground, criminal ring. But I also got earlier that there's 3 countries. This will involve 3 different countries. I'm pretty sure the United States is one of them. So it'd be interesting to see when that news comes out. They're going to try to cover that crap up real fast. Number 8, I saw visions, going back to the way I saw visions when I started doing these 15 years plus ago. I would see mostly all my visions in newspaper headlines, like I was reading the newspaper. And, we used to read newspapers back then, at that day and age, when I would have these visions. And that's how I saw this one. And the vision was China attacks. Your car is obnoxiously loud. China attacks. This vision came to me much like the visions, like I said, when I was younger. Spirit showed me several different news headlines that all read the same thing: China attacks. One of them looked like Time magazine, or looked like a magazine cover. One of them, because I'm seeing that now. I will work on receiving a little bit more clarity on this particular, hopefully getting more clarity on this attack and, what it is in details, but that's all Spirit gave me. So again, if I see it as those headlines, then without a doubt, of course, it's going to be in those headlines. But here's the thing that Spirit also shows me that, again, it would have to be a huge story for me to see it in headlines. But it seems like this is like coming to my doorstep. Like, you just got out of your car and I heard your car door and you're coming to my doorstep. So it feels on the doorstep. So I would expect this to occur really soon, no later than the end of December. Number 7, and then I'm seeing Christmas attacks, something around, and this one's coming to me. This isn't even in my predictions here, but something about the holidays, and that might be going back to that prediction. Actually, that might be Spirit giving me clarity that it's around the holidays or on Christmas Day. Nothing like doing a sacrifice of people on Christmas Day. That's what those sick Luciferian Satan worshippers do. So number 7, I see a sudden attack on churches and religious structures. I see this happening on several levels. In different areas of the globe. The United States, Canada, and much of Europe will first see the burning destruction of monumental church or building, like one in Italy or England. That pops up in my head first. Like a major, we'll first see a monumental historic church, like one in England or Italy, being burnt to the ground. St. Peter popped up on my mind. Not that it has anything to do with St. Peter's church or whatever, but that did pop in my mind, just the word in St. Peter. The historic structure will be said to have been ignited from faulty old wiring. It was lit and burnt actually from the inside. So again, you'll remember when we see that and they say, hey, maybe in the media, maybe the firefighters think it was faulty wiring, but Spirit is showing me it was burned from the inside. The church burned down their own church, historic church too. So somebody on the inside. Be interesting to see, that come out in the news too, because again, if Spirit says it, usually we would have to be able to validate it completely as a prediction when it happens. So I would think that we would have to see the articles, faulty wiring and all first, and then find out later that it was arson. So I see a series of churches, sadly, and religious structures for prayer being set ablaze. One of these is said to be arson. And one of these events triggers a whole bunch of other. So you're going to see one event of a church burning. That's going to also be a ripple effect that goes, what Spirit showed me, 20 miles in radius. And about time you leave in that loud, obnoxious vehicle. So yes, one church, and then you'll see that it's set by a group of people, almost like literally like supremacists of some sort. Igniting churches in a 20-mile radius. So this is what Spirit showed me. There's an attack on religious structures and religious places of prayer coming. Already is, but coming on a deeper level. I got to go back to my pictures and show you a picture for this next trash bag that I want to talk about. Because you couldn't hear me, sadly. Hopefully my sound's still good. Yes. This trash bag. You all know this trash bag. Yeah, it's this trash bag. Spirit kept showing me visions of Jeffrey Epstein, the notorious trash bag. I did not clearly get info other than Spirit practically literally shoving his photos in my face. Like, why do you keep showing me this trash bag? One of these visions was at the end of shoving all these pictures of him in my face, make sure I know it was him. It was a small video clip, almost like I was watching on a home security camera. And I swear that vision in that video clip felt so much like the here and now, making me feel like perhaps Spirit wants to ensure us that perhaps he is still alive and well and in hiding. But more than anything, I felt like a literal tidal wave of Epstein energy hitting me, like on the planet, hitting humanity. So I can only interpret this as a huge tidal wave of information that's about to hit the globe hard with truth of who Epstein really was, even though we know a lot and there's a lot out there. But again, from Spirit just shoved this out in my face like this is going to be huge. And, those who are truly connected to him is what's going to make it even huger, bigger, larger. Him and his sick Luciferian, devil worshipping pedophile ring that they have going on there. So hold on tight, folks. Hold on tight, Epstein, actually. Hold on, Jeffrey Epstein. Your roller coaster is about to take off. Big time. What else did I see? Oh, lastly, and you heard it here first. Remember, you hear this here first. Putting all that together, my other interpretation that I will put out there, I'd be the first to do so, that perhaps Spirit showing me that clip and making me feel like he is still alive and in hiding. And this whole thing blowing up is actually coming into fruition that he's caught alive. That would be the best story ending of all, to catch that SOB still alive. So that'd be good. Number 5, problems arise out of Japan. My beautiful friends out there in Japan. But Japan's going to feel like, y'all are going to get hit pretty hard, just like the rest of the world, but you're going to get hit pretty hard. First, Spirit shows me visions of people taking the streets. They seem more upset than angry. Almost reminds me of like in the United States when there's a court verdict and the person gets off and the whole, people outside the court protesting are all sad, they're all shocked. They got off. It almost felt like that kind of thing. But not that it has anything to do with court verdicts, by the way, but this is just how it popped up in my mind when I saw this happening in Japan and saw this crowd of people. Secondly, I feel Japan is going to feel huge hits from Mother Earth and the weather systems. The huge volcanic eruption that I predicted, earlier this year in Japan just happened last month. And Spirit showed me that this is going to be setting off larger quakes, probably already has, but it seems to be a ripple effect. The way Spirit showed me this was literally a pebble going in the lake. And I saw a ripple effect of first Japan and a ripple effect of not just the earthquake ripples, but a ripple effect of earthquakes happening around the globe, like lined up almost like perfect geometry with where the main quake happened. So I thought that was kind of really interesting, but it seems like a ripple effect of quakes that occur after this large quake. Luckily, I don't feel like this is hitting a large city. At least I didn't see it that way, but it is definitely shaking up the people without a doubt. I see water raging down mountainsides like nothing I've ever seen. Wild, like something you'd see in a movie. Like rushing down mountainsides, followed by rock and mudslides. Huge rains come across large mountains. Spirit has me facing a part of this storm coming. So all these floods, this is a separate prediction for Japan. I am facing the mountains, and there's a big, gigantic mountain in the middle, 2 little small ones side by side, and just there's snow on the top. And I'm looking towards China because Spirit shows me that China is sending this storm to Japan because Japan opts out of some sort of deal. So my friends in Japan, hopefully you'll know more about this than us. When you see some sort of deal between Japan and China not happening because Japan opts out, be prepared in those high mountains and in this place because they're sending a storm and it's going to be a big one. And so hopefully it's really weather related and not a storm of them coming over with military. It seemed all weather related. But anyway, sometimes visions can be tricky to interpret. Prophecy can be tricky to interpret. But anyway, number 4, I see a large group of what appears to me like law enforcement people in uniforms. But then I see a sudden vision of medical people or people in white coats as well, mixed in with these people who look like they're all in uniforms like military or law enforcement. Not military, but law enforcement. They're gathered in what feels like a rage of a protest. Likely due to the mandates on the V. But I cannot tell if that's actually what it is or not. And it's likely in the United States, but not necessarily. Actually, not necessarily United States, but more likely in Europe, perhaps Canada, where I'm seeing this vision. I know that this has happened on some level, but again, seeing this in a vision and Spirit showing me this today, this is huge. And part of it is there's going to be a huge spike in criminal activity, which mass media is going to attempt to twist it around as well, all connected to the same event. So I know that there's more to this vision, and hopefully I'll be able to update you with more clarity on that as before the event occurs. Last thing Spirit showed me in that vision is I heard it's a life-changing event. It's a life-changing event. Number 3, I see abandoned gas stations. Some have old signs blowing in the wind. And I got a picture. Of course, I got a picture I got to show you just because I like, you to understand a little bit about how my brain works and the visions and how I get them. Because it was almost, sometimes I find them online and they're almost identical to like the vision the spirit showed me. It's kind of creepy, but a cool creepy. But yeah, gas stations. And I saw gas stations like this, out of gas. I saw signs just like that, but old signs like this too, blowing in the wind, that were gas signs. And I already talked about and predicted, and we already know that there's a problem. But what I was seeing was abandoned gas stations with, the old signs blown in the wind with no numbers on them. Some, pieces of white paper taped to pumps that said no gas. I was told this time by Spirit that this will begin in small remote areas first before spreading inward to more populated areas and cities. So again, y'all in remote areas, just all the more reason to make sure you're prepared. And I don't know necessarily this is all here, because some of it I saw different languages on these gas station pumps, or different, like didn't look like United States to me or American. So I believe that India, the Middle East, and Africa are going to be the first that this is going to hit the hardest first. Probably already is. This will become a global event. Number two, I see a large block burning in a rage and fire and destruction. Spirit says to me clearly, arson and murder. Arson and murder. I truly believe this would occur in New York City. If Spirit said arson and murder, then this would have to come out into the light and into the media in order for this prediction to even be valid in the future. Because that's, to me, is very specific. And it looked like a whole city block burning. So therefore, the city block would have to burn in a city like New York City. It would have to come out as arson. And then somebody would have to likely be, charged with murder. And number one, and of course, I saved the most disturbing for the last one of all. And I have to bring up a picture. The picture is not disturbing, so no worries. Not as disturbing as the vision that I had, but this is a picture of, similar to, literally, this is one of the pictures I found that I was like, oh my God, that's like literally exactly like my vision, like almost identical to the vision I had. I saw big holes like this being dug, mass graves. Spirit showed me mass graves being dug. I saw hundreds of people being thrown into these huge graves. As I saw fuel being poured over the bodies, I was even more disturbed when I saw one of the hands of the bodies move. That really creeped me out. And I can hope that that body was just moving, was just a reaction of the body after it dies. But what's even more concerning about this vision is the way that people tossed the bodies into these mass graves and how they were dressed. And that's why when I pulled this picture up on the internet, I'm like, oh my God, that's how they were dressed. Like even more than that, like more, that's just the color white's close, but they were like dressed in like chemical suits. Like it was crazy. But it got even more interesting and disturbing, because what is more concerning is how the people were dressed in all white mostly, and some yellow. But lastly, they all cleared the area. Like they cleared the area. They got away far, and it looked like they stood behind a wall or something before they, I guess, pressed a button and ignited it on fire. And then I saw where the smoke was blowing from the fire, and Spirit shows me that they even make sure that the winds are blowing in the right direction when this happens. Not sure where this is happening. It looked like it could be somewhere like India or in that part of the globe, but it was disturbing. That takes me to what I've showed. I don't know if I showed my people on Subscribe Star and Zoom, or if I showed you all, but there was a video of a gentleman in Russia driving along this road, and there were like rows of single graves, but rows of empty graves all dug up for miles as he drove. At least they're going in separate graves. This was like mass what I saw. It was disturbing. It reminded me of something out of like a horror movie, or like not a horror movie, like a World War II movie or something like that. So with that said, my beautiful friends, I'm so sorry that my sound went out, and hopefully this will show up and I'll go in and edit it later, hopefully. But until the next time, I love and appreciate all of you. Anybody that, send through their support chat cash, I started to read that and then I got cut off, and then all just went wrong for some reason. As soon as I started talking about toothpaste, go figure. So as I always say, and as you know, celebrate life, celebrate you, celebrate the amazing you that you are, that you can be, and you will be in the future. Celebrate the amazing flow of miracles and blessings, abundance, joy, and happiness to flow into your life each and every moment of every day. The more you do, the more miracles and blessings that you will be blessed with. The more you bitch and complain, the more the universe will give you to bitch and complain about. So why bother? Celebrate life, celebrate you, as I celebrate you as well. Until the next time, Spiritman J.T. signing off. Gotta go. Namaste. Have a great day.